2.
I'm a zeitgeist.
Zealot.
Cool. I like it. So you have the power to put your finger on the pulse of society.
Hey everyone, welcome to Zeitgeist Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
I'm Tip.
Matt.
This episode is all about Batman. What some people down south in Australia call Big Ears Batman. Shout out to the Weekly Planet. Guys, you know it's been almost 2.5 years since Batman fans, like people who own exotic paintings of Batman, that they got in Hawaii from their amazing wives. Do you guys know it's been 2.5 years?
Wait for it. Here it comes. Almost there.
Since Batman fans had real new Batman, right? Do you guys remember what that project was?
Was it Batman?
It was the Batman. yes, it was the dumb Batman. Yeah, it was Robert Pattinson's Batman, guys, and like the Penguin's about to come out. We will be covering it. If you want us to watch it, make sure to like and subscribe because we'll be covering it here on HBO Max. I think it comes out in September. Whenever it comes out, we'll be covering it. So just hit subscribe.
Hey, Peter, do you know who I am?
The hell are you supposed to be?
Do you know who I am?
Wait.
Who are you?
Oh, you're that guy who was here last night, totally not in a Batman suit, saying the same exact thing. Thank you,
Yes.
Robert Pattinson.
Wait,
Worst
is
acting ever in a Batman, and that is giving George Clooney's Batman.
Ooh!
Yep.
No. You never leave the Batcave without the Batcard.
Never leave the cave without it.
You two boys aren't gonna start fighting over little old me now, are you?
Is this new Batman?
Don't come at my George Clooney.
Begin again.
I love George Clooney. He's the worst Batman ever made. But Robert Pattinson, I think, eclipses that. Even though we have the best Riddler ever done, but the worst Batman. And on top
I'm sorry.
Of that,
the best Riddler ever done is...
When is the top of a mountain like a savings account? When it piques one's interest. When does a painter use a trigger instead of a brush? When he's a stick-up artist.
The Riddler from the Adam... Oh, I was going to say Adam West Batman Riddler, but no, Jim Carrey was the fucking GOAT Riddler. Jim Carrey, GOAT Riddler. You're absolutely 100% right.
Riddle me this.
Riddle me this!
Riddle me this. Riddle me that. Who's afraid of the big black bat?
Do you remember Robert Pattinson's Batman? How the movie ended, and then 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 the movie ended.
There was seriously
40 minutes of extra ending to the ending of that movie.
Please, guys, like and subscribe to this podcast because right now we have less subscribers than this incel serial killer at the end of Robert Pattinson. How?
Change? We'll give him a real change now. We've spent our lives in this wretched place suffering.
How did he have so many followers who were able to take up arms against an entire city? It doesn't make any
Now that's a superhero landing.
since he had like 120 subscribers. I'm not jealous.
I'm jealous. Okay, so no, I'm envious. I'm envious, definitely.
I'm not jealous. I'm taking this, and I'm who's that asshole on the internet who's really fat and now he's
Andrew
skinny
Tate?
and he's a Marine. Gerbins, you know, he's like Joe Rogan's like BFF. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, God dang it.
So anyways,
Richard Coben.
There's another Batman. So DC, being DC, instead of creating anything new or
David Goggins. Sorry.
Peacemaker. Maybe we do more Peacemaker.
Yeah,
my wife
want to make new stuff.
My wife literally asked for Peacemaker last night. She was like, "When's Peacemaker season 2 coming out?" And I said, do you hear her? Do you hear her HBO/Google voice?
Where did you find this person, Major? Good God.
I found her at a Day to Remember concert. I kid you not. I found her at a rock concert.
Wow.
So I will say this.
She's pretty cool.
This is my wife.
I feel like I've said this on the podcast before, but when all else fails, DC reinvents Batman.
Reinvents?
Hey,
No.
You know, guys.
There's
What was cool in the late '90s that dads would love? Remember that show Batman Beyond or whatever it was called in the '90s? That really cool Batman show. Let's try to redo that.
Look, there's only been one reinvention of Batman, and that was the original invention of Batman.
Scatman.
Right? There's two creators of Batman. Do you guys know who they are?
Man, Bear, Pig.
Man, Bear, Pig. It was
Einstein?
Bob Kane and Bill Finger, right? Bob Kane is the one who was given all the credit for Batman in the 1989 Batman Forever movies, right? Like originally, Bill Finger just got kind of written out of existence. But Batman by Bob Kane was ridiculous looking. Bill Finger came in and redesigned the Batman to look as iconic as he is today. And guys, yes, we are going to get into the Caped Crusader. Trust me, we're going to get there. And we're going to talk about the little bat squiggly line on his chest, right? And yes, we're going to talk about the bat nipples of Clooney. Okay, we're going to talk about all the Batmans, all the designs. Yes, but I just want to point out that the real reinvention of Batman is by Bill Finger, who makes him the iconic person he is today. Everything else is just a fun adaptation from Tim Burton to Christopher Nolan, right? Batman is Batman is Batman is Batman. I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree with it.
Hey, can you name another DC character? Yes, you can. Everybody here can name another DC character.
Right.
And yet, whenever DC is failing, who do we come back to?
Trump. I mean, Batman.
Superman as well.
No,
we should.
No, not even Superman. Not even Superman. There are more Batman remakes than Superman remakes.
Here's the problem. Superman.
Probably.
Superman should. Can you imagine how great America would be if we had the number of Superman movies we had of Batman movies? Like little boys, men, Boy Scouts, Eagle Scouts, men in general, right? These people who listen to Andrew Tate.
You're fucking poor.
Would be listening to Henry Cavill for his 13 movies. Look.
Hold on to hope. Believe in the strength within you to overcome adversity. Know that every setback is an opportunity for growth, and every failure is a stepping stone towards success.
The battle against porn addiction is a different kind of fight.
Wolverine.
People should be listening to Andrew Tate.
No, that's what I'm saying, right? If Henry Cavill was allowed to be Superman, like Hugh Jackman was allowed to be Wolverine, right? Hugh Jackman did 10 movies, right? If Henry Cavill could do 10 movies of Superman, you don't think the men growing up watching that, plus the original Christopher Reeves, thank you.
Wow.
Like what? Like, can you imagine how great, how generous, how charitable these men would be growing up, watching half a decade of Christopher Reeves and then just 10 movies? What, that's like 20, 25 hours of Henry Cavill being a chivalrous Superman? Like, that is the kind of idolation.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me. Who's got you?
Whoa, they're tippers. That's not gonna stop Superman. I'm sorry, buddy. That's not gonna stop Superman.
To stand in my work. That's kryptonite.
Kind of my point, though, is that DC consistently is just boxed into this Wonder Woman.
Look,
Aquaman,
but until you get your foundation right.
So many cool characters on so many different. Yeah, dude, they're really.
So the issue I have is that growing up, you had this choice. Before Image Comics came out, you had DC or you had Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, Marvel was the obvious choice because DC, when it came, who had movies out, who had comics out, who had a lot bigger part of the market at the time, it was all Batman, and then Superman.
All right.
And then I guess you get the Justice League, but like there was nothing beyond that. Whereas Marvel was X-Men, X-Force, Alpha Strike, Fantastic Four, Wolverine. Like not only did you have teams, but you had individual comics. And when you went to a comic book store, you know, it was like, ooh, like how did this individual comic contribute to the bigger story? And DC was always like, hey, let's take our biggest things since the 1940s, the 1930s, and the 1920s, and let's just keep running that machine. Superman is awesome. And in fact, I think I was texting with Major today about how I remember watching the cartoons when I was a kid, and I had nothing better to watch. I remember watching the old Superman cartoons from like the 1950s where they just got color, and he doesn't even fly. He leaps higher than the tallest buildings.
Look at the bird.
I only watched it because it was something to watch. But then in the 90s, you have X-Men come out. And now you have X-Men 97, which is, dealing with that.
God.
But when X-Men as a show came out as a kid, I was like, holy shit, this is something brand new. It's so edgy. It is so anti-DC. It is not generic and clean. It is there's so much nuance to it. And here I am in my 40s, and I still have the same issue with DC and Marvel. DC
it's kind of the same
is
thing.
coming back to Marvel. It's coming back to Superman. It's coming back to Wonder Woman and the Justice League. And the crazy part to me is that they have such a huge universe. They have such a huge universe of comics.
They do.
But I'm not interested at all at exploring it because they rely so heavily on their main characters.
Look,
this guy DC has a lot of like really gritty, dark.
They do. That's the crazy part, though.
Toyman, please tell me you purchased the extended warranty.
Uh-oh.
Is that a thing with every chair? I am going to stand.
You know whose fault this is? Kite Man's. And you picked him, Bane.
I think we should be supportive of each other.
Give me some fucking space and take a seat.
Well, my point is...
You're fired.
What happened to 2 weeks' notice?
If you read the original, like, Riddler, if you read, like, the original, like, they have some really dark characters in there. But I'm not invested, and I'm not interested in it. Because they do a poor job of
Killing Joke is like... Oh my god!
It's one of the best comic books ever.
Oh my god!
Highly rated.
Yeah.
How many times have I seen Joker and Batman?
But I know how you got me.
Before you die inside yourself,
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
No! No!
1,000.
That's the problem I have.
No, but it's such a good dynamic. Look, here is the problem, Matthew. You are complaining about the Kama Sutra, which has 1,250 verses. But I'm telling you, right now, you 40-year-old son of a bitch, you love Missionary. Missionary's classic. You love Doggy Style, and you love a third one. And that is the trifecta. That is Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. Okay? Look, I understand you want more. Every once in a while, you are going to wheelbarrow that amazing woman that you wrapped up in life, right? But most nights, you want Batman. You want Missionary, okay? That's all I'm saying. Yes, there's a reason why we keep going back to Batman, and that's because he's a fucking goat. He is the best Superman. You can't fucking beat that Superman. You can't beat him as a superhero. He doesn't even have superpowers. How cool is it that the greatest superhero of all time has no superpowers?
Major, are you saying that Batman is like
the greatest?
Well,
yes.
This is the same problem with your last analogy about like how many times have you seen boobs? It's like, yeah, I mean, boobs are great, but Batman's only one pair of boobs. So like seeing the same pair of boobs over and over again.
Batman's like a D though. He's like a
missionary,
D, where you don't really get
no. Stop.
The same person over and over again. You know?
Adam West, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, Robert Pattinson, Owen Soule, Diedrich Bader, Kevin Conroy.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
Bruce Greenwood, Will Arnett.
I've seen you go through similar phases in 2016 and 2012 and 2008 and 2005 and 1997 and 1995 and 1992 and 1989 and that weird one in 1966. Do you want to talk about how you're feeling right now?
I don't talk about feelings, Alfred. I don't have any. I've never seen one. I'm a night-stalking, crime-fighting vigilante and a heavy metal rapping machine. I don't feel anything emotionally except for rage. 24/7, 365, at 1,000,000%. And if you think that there's something behind that, then you're crazy. Good night, Alfred.
Sir, it's morning.
They're all the same pair of tits to you, Forrest? They're all the same pair of tits? No! They are not the same Batman.
Clooney's like a Z.
The best Batman of all time is Will Arnett in Lego Batman, and he is nothing like the rest of the Batman.
Like only Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, and maybe I guess Kevin Conroy in animation are like really the only like.
Will Arnett. Will Arnett, are you not paying your fucking flowers? He is the greatest Bat. Oh my god, dude. When he's eating that lobster bisque, it's so.
But
Kevin Conroy's the greatest. But
him
yes,
in the Lego movies, like he. Is a great gateway for kids.
He's lovable.
Yeah, he's lovable, and the kids get interested in the comics because of him, and it's just amazing. So I will definitely give a thumbs up to Will Arnett. But
Kids definitely need a gateway, like a fun, like happy gateway.
Exactly,
and that
Lego
is,
Batman.
yeah.
You know, a fun gateway can lead to an exciting career in Batmanology. Or at least something close to it. I mean, not if you're like me and you're a Batman fan, but you're unlike me and you live near the University of Victoria in Canada. They actually offer a college course called the Science of Batman. Can you imagine? Just be like, sorry, babe, I can't take you out tonight. I have to study the science of Batman.
Is it a course or an actual like degree?
It's not a full major. It's just a course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
and there's others.
Batman. One of the producers of Batman like taught a university course, I guess, like on the psychology of comic book characters. Or something
How much fun? How much fun would that be?
That's fine.
That's great.
And I guess you can get like a physics of Batman if you actually use physics, but
or physics of Superman would be
well,
more.
Which also, I gotta say, as much as I will shill and I will love and I will defend the hell out of Batman the Caped Crusader, one of the worst problems is the physics in the show. Like at some point, it's like someone's hitting. No. It's like a huge fat person's like dangling like over the building, and they're just wrapped up by like a little batarang, and then Batman just goes, huh! And that person goes, huh! And just flies way over to the other side, and it's like Batman exerts 55 pounds of force this way, and then a 400-pound man flies with 800 pounds of Newton.
That would actually be really interesting to discover, like how strong is Batman? Like, what's his bench press? Given that he can throw a 220-pound oaf like fucking 12 feet, you know, like what can that guy squat? Like,
if you watch the Snyder cut, you'll see him work out.
Major.
Yes.
This female. So you like talk about like all these Batman, all these great Batman, and but like in terms of penguins, female penguin was definitely the best, right? This was by far and away.
Let's talk about Oswaldo. Let's get into the entire series.
We're into Caped Crusader now, which is the whole point of this episode.
Yes.
Which we only took 30 minutes to get to.
It's 20 minutes, you exaggerating son of a bitch. I'm not sure why. If you don't have to lie to me about the time, you don't have to lie to the audience. They can see it too. Make sure to like and subscribe.
So
yeah, all of that.
All right, let's do the whole. Let's do overall thoughts. I will start.
I haven't seen all of it, so I can.
Well, I have seen all of it twice. So, and I have a very expensive.
You're a glutton for punishment.
Too expensive painting. No, dude, I will defend this. You guys can attack it. I'll defend it. We're gonna have an honest discussion, guys. Stick around because this is really what it's all about.
It's just meh. So it's like
no, it's not mad. It is a actual homage. It is written. I can smell. I can taste. The love is palpable. The love for Batman is palpable in this series. It is so well written. I know you guys are hating, blah, blah, blah. And look, there is a DEI woke mind virus episode. We like to call it episode 5 with Harley Quinn. I will destroy, right? But overall, like, look. We gender swap some people, right? Like Barbara Gordon's black and whatever, but like that doesn't actually change the plot at all, and it's well written. Look, there's a gay character, but we get a gay kiss, right? And that's all I'm asking for. As an audience fan, don't tell. Don't tell me the character's gay. Show me the character's gay, right? And it made sense. We'll get into it.
Batman.
We'll get into it. Overall, we're going to go around the table. 8.5 out of 10. Matt, what do you...
High-low Buffalo, I think is what we need to do with this really quick before we can get into it. What is your high point? What is your low point? And what is the random point about this? So,
okay.
Major, what is your high-low Buffalo?
My high-low Buffalo, I love this so much. My high point, this is a amazing adaptation of Batman. For year one, I loved it. I love a lot of year ones. It's getting a little oversaturated. I don't want to say like the Batman market's oversaturated, but the Batman year one market is getting a little oversaturated, and it's very much usually crime boss mob heavy, right? The first season, year one's usually him when he's fighting like the mob bosses, which I don't mind. It makes a lot of sense, right? But look, 2 out of the 10 episodes, right, were completely supernatural. There was a ghost, there's a demon. I really enjoyed it, but it was a faithful and a beautiful adaptation of Batman. I am still out. I haven't fully formed my opinions on the wonky Batman crest in the middle and the big ears Batman, as my favorite podcast, The Weekly Planet, calls him. right? But overall, right, the acting, the voice acting, this Hamish character, which I only know his name because Matt tried to make fun of him, right? But dude, as far as the man named Hamish goes, he sounded chef's kiss, so great. But it was so look. There's a point where he's using like mercury microwave waves to like try to get evidence, and he's using like microfission later on to go through like newspapers. He's a real detective, not like Robert Pattinson, this bullshit wannabe detective Batman. Like when you're watching this, the love for Batman is palpable. And guys, you know why that is? Because fucking Bruce Timm, the producer of Batman the Original Series, the greatest Batman adaptation of all time, right? He's still a producer on this, right? The love is still there. You guys are being some fucking haters for no fucking reason. Look, I didn't love the Penguin being female. But when I saw the Penguin being female, my first thought was, I can't wait to see Batman punch a female.
Right. Robbie, I assume you watched it. What's your high-low, Buffalo?
Well, I watched the first episode so far. And yeah, I like they're showing at least more of his investigator side of Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of like the voice acting, but yeah, I don't know about the new Penguin or not, but I'm only on episode 1.
She's not great, but she's out of the picture, right? Look.
Well, when I first saw her, I was like, "Is this someone with the Penguin?" But it has the nose and everything. Yeah, I thought, that was my first thought when I saw that. When it was like was doing like a song and yeah. So I was like, "Is this just someone performing for Penguin and just going with the style?" Or
like this is a Penguin group, kind of like.
But I had the nose
right.
Though,
no, it wasn't obvious at first, and then I was like, is this realistic? We have all these men swooning over this plus-sized woman who can barely sing. And then I was like, Lizzo. Yes, it is very, very plausible. Continue, plot line.
All right, Forrest, high-low, Buffalo.
I think the high was probably maybe the Clayface episode, because that was probably like the one villain that was probably the most accurate to his comic book counterpart. At least like the Golden Age version, which is basically more of like a ghost face than like an actual like shape-shifting Sandman. I mean, I think like just the art direction's good. It's just the writing is just so weak. And we mentioned Bruce Timm. Bruce Timm takes way too much credit for the DCAU. It was very much Paul Dini, and who was like sort of the other half of the
he's not wrong.
Controversy, motherfuckers.
He's not wrong, but hopefully he picked up a thing.
I mean, let's think about this. When did Batman the Arkham series fall off in terms of quality? Probably when Paul Dini was asked back to write Arkham Knight, because he wrote the first 2 Arkham games. Those are both amazing. So you need writers actually. You need writers who actually understand Batman, and I don't think Bruce. I think Bruce Timm's a good maybe like idea man. Maybe a good, decent animator, but like I think he's just not a great storyteller, and that was like very evident because Paul Dini, I don't think had any involvement in this at all. So,
in the last Arkham game,
what was it? Arkham Knight. I mean, I guess Kill the Suicide Squad.
I wanna fully endorse what Forrest just said. All right, Paul Dini, what a legend, and as I don't use the word simp, but look. Batman. Look, as a Batman lover, right? I got into a personal argument with Matt earlier today because his kids had enough of Batman after 2 episodes. And I was like, what in the hell is going on with these spoiled ass kids? When I was growing up, I had exactly 1 source of Batman content under the age of 13, and that was Adam West Batman 1966 through 68, right? Like the Batman movie, right? With the shark repellent.
Adam West Batman, with Michael Keaton Batman.
I couldn't watch it. I'm sorry, your parents were so much cooler than my parents. Your parents not at that age.
Yeah, so I will say this. Let's my kids just started school this week.
And they're great. Your kids are amazing kids. I'm not dissing them.
And so I gave them the option to stay up late and watch this show with me, and they could watch as many episodes as they wanted. They could stay up
and they
past...
went to bed.
All right, so we started at 9, right? My daughter's bedtime is like 9:30. My son's bedtime is 8:30. We got through 2 episodes, so we were before 10, and both my kids tapped out. They're like, "Yeah, we'd rather go to bed than keep watching this show."
Damn.
They don't understand how beautiful.
Right there.
If they stayed up, if they stayed up till midnight, I would have been fine with that. If they stayed up till 2 in the morning because they're watching Batman with me, I would have been fine with that. But after 2 episodes, you're like, "Yeah, this is bad, Dad. We're going to bed."
Sometimes a turn's a turn. Even a kid can
over Batman. So really quick,
like I said, I'm here to defend it. I love Buffalo.
My high is that the DA there, Miss Gordon, is very thick, and I enjoy that. It's good. It's good to see that being represented in animation.
But in every character. But in every character.
And Toya were all like body positive, I think.
Oh my God, body positive.
Yep, she's definitely good to go. My low is that overall, at times, the animation is... I don't know if they're purposely trying to make it look bad or make it look like it was animated in the 70s, but I get this kind of like idea of like the animation style is we're like trying to make it look like back in the day. And by Buffalo, just the random comment is that the kickback on a mortar shell being fired like that with at least an 88 would deafen everybody around it. And not only that,
capsize the ship.
Right, yeah. It would collapse
right through the ceiling. It would go right through the fucking roof.
You're figuring at least that's an 88.
That was a big can.
So an 88, if you ever fired one of those, like, there's a reason why you put your hands to your ears and you look away. But they're like, let's just fire it off.
But you fool! You bring up one of my favorite parts.
You don't think Batman has earplugs?
But
Beers, Batman,
and her friends there. Hey, let's just fire
bad plugs.
Guys, Matt, you fool! You bring up one of my favorite points, right? She's about to shoot the cop building, and he throws a batarang and it stops her. And I'm like, yes, that's Batman. Batarang.
Bat plugs and butt plugs are separate things. I just want to make that clear.
Yes, very much so.
Also, a bat butt plug.
Guys, what do you think about Fat Alfred? How do we feel about Fat Alfred? Look, as someone who loves Batman and knows Alfred is his right-hand man, I need my Alfred in shape so he's able to save Batman. But we got Fat Al over here.
Commissioner Gordon, Red Hood, Batgirl.
I love people can't do shit, Alfred. but it shows you like how strong he is because he supports Batman.
You just wait till episode 6, you motherfucker. If you watch this series, you would see how beautiful it is. In episode 6, it gets a little paranormal. I know, but I'm telling you, episode. We'll get into episode 6, guys. All right, so
as beautiful as Halo.
We're still on episode 1. We have to talk about it.
Oh, please, let's move on to episode 1.
No, we have to. We have to go over all the characters, right? We have to soak it in, guys. We haven't even talked about Black Gordon, right? How do we feel? I don't care. I don't care.
About this?
I don't care. I don't care at all.
1989.
This is
Lando Calrissian.
I don't care.
It takes place in 1940, right? I mean, that's
in the it's in the 1930s.
It's sort of just like a alternate universe where like there was no racism in 1940.
Yeah, I love it. That's not a problem.
Openly gay restaurant, so it's like
I don't care.
Bridgerton.
It's just like, I really.
Hey, I want my Lando Calrissian. All right, that is.
I hope they make a Lando Calrissian Adventures
starring Donald Glover. Lando Donald. Yeah, that's all we want.
Because like that's like when the Star Wars universe, before like all those extended universe novels came out. I mean, technically Lando books are part of the EU, but it was sort of like before they were done with Return of the Jedi. We had just gotten, Empire Strikes Back, and then we're getting like Lando's backstory, or like between what happened before Empire Strikes Back. So it's interesting. Like early Star Wars extended universe, it was interesting because they'd like do anything.
Speaking of Lando, right? Matt's favorite Batman. His movie 1989. Billy D. Williams played Harvey Dent. Right? No Outroar. Ooh. There was no Black Rock back in the day. We didn't care about that. Right? Oh, Harvey Dent's black now? Who cares? It's Billy D. Williams. He's so cool.
Back, though. They never brought him back, though. Let's remember that.
Not only that.
That is true.
Who was
my next
the major contributor to the soundtrack of 1989 Batman?
Danny Elfman.
Prince.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, he was the entire soundtrack, yeah. Yep. Awful. That's the only point of that movie that just
really
made that movie timeful.
Movie is when I totally forgot that Prince was like...
You forgot Prince.
Random songs put into that.
Yep.
I think that was like the producer. What was his name? John Rot, or he was like Barbra Streisand's boyfriend. But he's a very, very eccentric producer. I forget his name, but he was also going to do Superman. But if you ever watch an interview with him, the dude's insane. But he was the one, I think, who insisted having Prince inserted into Batman because he thought they needed like a hip, modern artist doing the music.
Dude, at least it wasn't Michael Jackson. Thank you. Can you
imagine? Worked for Highlander with Queen. Same thing with Flash Gordon. Although Flash Gordon probably did as well. But Highlander was like sort of a new franchise, so you can use Queen. But
unlike a new franchise, this first episode ends with Batman and Alfred looking at a map and realizing that by taking out Oswalda, right, that they opened up more of the city for Rupert Thorne. So maybe we're going to get a little taste of Mob. But he said he failed this city. And I was like, yes, nice homage to the CW Green Arrow. Because that's the only fucking people. The only people watching this show are the exact same people who watch Green Arrow.
So my daughter made a great point, too, watching the end of the episode.
Green Arrow's great.
She's like, well, if he's back at his base and he's looking at the map where nobody can see him, why is he still in costume?
In case he has to go back out. Well, no, in case he has to go back out. Yeah, no. Don't give your daughter any credit. No. Because crime persists from 10 a.m. to 4, from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Well,
she asked that, and it blew my mind.
No. I'm sorry.
Right.
Are you getting at
crime in the daytime?
Why can't he take off his mask? Like, is it that hard to take off your mask?
What? I'm sorry. Are cops just undressing? Are cops getting naked? And they're like, oh wait, here comes a 1024. Let me put my clothes on.
No, fuck off. Because I've worked security, and I can't tell you how many times I've taken off my cover because like.
But all of your clothes.
Sucks. So you're saying he can't take off the mask to talk to Alfred at all, and then put the mask on?
Nah, all right, I'll give you the mask. Not the whole outfit.
Why is he full costume?
Pull the cowl down. I get that. Look, I get the cowl. I won't defend. I will defend the whole costume, but I will secede.
Just like the mask.
The head. I'll secede the mask.
Like, I would actually prefer a Batman where he's talking with Alfred with his mask off and him holding it in his hand and like debating whatever.
Well,
because I feel that's more realistic than.
Watch the rest of the season so we can get a season 2 of this, which I'm pretty sure is already like confirmed. Which is also confirmed is episode 2. And Be a Villain is the title. This is the famous Clayface episode. Forrest really liked it. I love this episode. I thought it was really good. Matt, we're going to get into your shitty opinions in a second. But I want to first highlight that this, as good as an episode this is, as much of a Batman chill as I am, no one can come close to how good the original Batman the Animated Series Clayface episode is. It's so good when he's rubbing it on and then changes his face. This was a nice and a almost faithful adaptation while putting your own little twist on it. It just wasn't as well executed, and That's my thoughts. I loved it though. Not as good as the original, but a nice taste of the past. What do you guys think? Matt, you watched episode 2?
Unfortunately, with my kids.
You son of a bitch!
This is the one that made them quit.
This is
the acting, the chewing all the scenery. Well, of course, I don't expect them to get Hamlet levels of acting. I don't understand them to expect the nuance of the character who you thought was the creepy guy is definitely the killer. And then, wait, no, he's not, because he's dead. Oh, wait, Batman touches his body in the mortuary or the coroner's office, right? And then, oh, wait, that's a plastic. He's still alive.
The other guy was missing. Wouldn't they have given it away, now that I think about it?
Yes.
Like, there was no missing person report on the dude. He was disguising his body.
You just wait till episode 5. There's no missing persons report. Yeah, I do believe Gotham does not have a missing persons report department at all. Yeah.
No,
Matthew?
Gotham SP.
Someone just disappears.
No,
nobody cares.
Yeah, Gotham's pretty corrupt. Yeah.
Yeah, at least most of the cops, according to Black Gordon.
Lord.
Which, yeah, I really enjoyed him as a character. So this episode, it's a Clayface episode, right? It's basically a race between Batman and Detective Montoya as they're trying to figure out like who is committing these crimes in Hollywood. And it is, it's the ugly guy at the beginning, right? He employs a makeup artist, and this makeup artist basically goes some back alley tactics. He becomes like Breaking Bad, a little meth dealer or a little meth chemist, and he figures out how to change this ugly guy's face, right? I really liked it. His name was Basil Carlo. That's a great name. That's a great villain's name.
It's based off Boris Karloff.
Oh, is it?
Basil, yeah, it's based off like the guy who played Frankenstein. This monster. Where anyone like throws a shit fit.
Damn, that's clever.
Between the two.
Very clever.
Well, there's there's Boris Karloff and then Basil Rathbone, I think, and that's where we get. They're both British. Those are like very British names, Boris and Basil.
Right.
Well, I guess Boris is more Russian, but like Basil, Nigel,
Boris Johnson. That's close enough. Nigel Farage.
Okay,
they're all prime ministers.
Russian English.
Yeah, because Russia and England had a bunch of.
What's the Russian slang in Clockwork Orange?
Speaking of Russian through this, it's a Clayface episode. You guys ready to go on to number 3 with Catwoman? Which you guys did not watch.
Yeah, that was so forgettable. Yeah. Catwoman, she steals things and then she gets caught and arrested and she gets let go because...
Forgettable. Are you kidding me? Have you seen those legs?
She gets caught. The end. Episode 4.
Episode 4. Moving on. All right. I do want to point out that Catwoman was drawn to the 1990s accurate, incredibly unrealistic standards of the females.
Well, she's based off the Silver Age version, which I think was also engraved in the Bold.
Yes. I didn't hate her. Look, there's this one point where she has the ugliest maid of all time, and the maid backstabs her in the end and sells all of her stuff, and because there's back pay involved. So I get it.
The maid for 3 years.
It's back. Yes, I agree. I'm not saying it wasn't unwarranted. I'm just saying, right? Yeah. I agree. Yeah, she could just quit at any time, right? But
if I'm not being paid, I probably need to get another job.
But I thought it was a fun little episode.
Nice.
But not as fun as episode 4, The Night of the Hunters.
Oh yeah, Firebug, not Firefly, because
not Firefly, but Firebug.
Firebug was the first Batman villain to have a flamethrower, because if you read the comics, Firefly actually had like a weird rainbow light gun. It had nothing to do with fire. So they kind of it's really weird. Right. He had like some sort of like a flashlight that could turn different colors.
What was that? Is that's
cool?
This television show paying homage to the original Batman? Is that this Batman show being faithful to the source material that I was talking about earlier that we're all hating about. Guys, this is a beautiful... Look, I'm telling you, the people who wrote this love Batman.
The multitude of Firebug fans are finally vindicated now.
We will go... As we go on this episode... As we go on this episode, I will continue to lay more evidence and facts about how the writers here are fighting DEI. They have to be complicit because they have to get paid, right? But they are fighting DEI. Look.
Well, and Major, all I have to say is that is just a phase that society goes through as we progress and become more.
You're 110%.
Don't worry about it.
Well, I'll worry a little bit. I have to worry a little bit. No.
Affirmative action actually had some. I mean, thing is, it's not all, positive and negative. It's all equal. It all balances out.
How does it all balance out? Right? There's a very famous quote that for evil to win, all it needs is for good men to do nothing. Something along those lines, right? If you want to make this into like some kind of Star Wars shit, right? Like you were the chosen one. You were supposed to bring balance to the Force, right? You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them, right? So, yes, we all balance out in the end, but we balance out because good men fight and good men fight hard. If we don't fight, evil will win 9 times out of 10. That's all.
I gotta drop off at 8. So, what episode are we on? Episode 4?
Episode 5. The stress of her regard. Oh, that's it. Basically, Firefly, right? Like, Firebug gets captured instantly.
I mean,
it's a good episode. They use Flask and Bullock.
They're going to
use him as a lure.
Fire Maniac is serial arsonist, a flamethrower. What the hell did they think was going to happen?
Well, they did to lure out the Batman.
The writing was so awful. It's just they did even a corrupt cop wouldn't do that. Like, I'm sorry, it was like, okay, they just need the plot to happen. Maybe if all right, we're going to have him dress up as Firebug, but we're not going to
I'm sorry, have you never read a comic? Have you never read a comic? Have you not seen the 1990s movies? I'm sorry. I've read some stupid comics, yeah. But, they're comics.
It was just a badly written episode. So, so Harley Quinn.
Jeez.
That was
yes.
What they do to Harley Quinn, that is.
So Harley Quinn, she's already gay. They made her gay so effing long time ago, right? This is the worst episode of the series, and it's not because she's gay. If anything, I like the fact that this is not tell but show gay, right? She goes on a gay date with a gay woman and they have a gay kiss, whatever that means, right?
Montoya, I think, is gay in the comics.
But Montoya, right, is no one's gay in the comics in the 1930s or 40s or 50s, all the way to the 90s or 2000s, right? It took Obama's second term to make gay marriage legal, okay? So don't tell me Montoya was gay in the comics in the 90s. Okay?
Well, yeah, she was. Well, it was funny. Well, she debuted in the animated series, like Harley Quinn. So it's interesting that they're in a relationship. But I think Harley Quinn in the comics was made bisexual because horny editors wanted her to hook up with Poison Ivy. So not really just...
Why do they have to be horny? Why can't they just be... Why can't they be female authors who...
I mean, it's just common sense.
Are you sure? The Wonder Woman... The Wonder Woman comic author was horny, right? That's a well-known fact. He loved BDSM, right, with the rope tying and stuff like that. But I haven't seen anything about some guys in the 90s being horny for lesbians, so they made Harley Quinn. I will say, Matt, have you seen Kite Man? Did you watch the first episode of Kite Man, or are you being sarcastic?
No, I have not.
God, he's lying son. All right, so
just to make you upset.
Yes, the first season of Harley Quinn was very good. The second 2 seasons really fell off. But one of the best things that Chef's Kiss ever come out of that is the first episode of Kite Man. Look, I've seen episodes 2 and 3, and I can't really vouch for them. They're not. It drops off, right? It drops off a lot. But the first episode of Kite Man. Chef's kiss, dude. It's so good. Maybe that's because I love Bane. Bane in that series is so good with this little high-pitched voice and his little dumb antics. Right, but there's a point where they have the anti-life equation. Spoilers, sorry. They have the anti-life equation, and it's like hidden in this impenetrable vault. And the allegedly Superman breaks into the impenetrable vault, and so they're like, "Toy Man, did you get the extended warranty?" And he's like, no." And so like Lex Luthor presses a button and like shoots his Toyman's chair like out of the fucking building, and then Bane's like, "Wait, is that on everyone's chair?" And he stands up and he starts like walking around like hiding behind like Lex Luthor, right? And then Lex slaps him. He's like, "Bane, go sit back down." And then as soon as Bane sits down, he fucking shoots Bane off into fucking space too. It's so funny. It's so well written. The first episode, I really enjoyed it. That's just me, and I guess I'll awkwardly pivot back to episode 5, the stress of her regard. I think this, first off, this title is some bullshit. The stress of her regard. I'm sorry. Are you trying to tell me that it's the stress of this woman's job as a clinical therapist to listen to these white men complain about their lives, aka therapy, right? And that stress caused her to mentally snap and become Harley Quinn? This is the worst. I fucking hate this adaptation, this new change of the backstory, right? No, fucking have her fall in love with the Joker.
Wow.
Have the Joker
like
push.
People.
No. Yes, 110%.
People.
Yeah.
Aren't white men just people?
In the 30s, right? These CEOs, 120%, right?
I wish they would like make it a mix, and then it would be like, hey.
So I wish you guys watched. I wish you guys watched this episode.
Problems with all people.
Because I wanted to talk to you guys.
I want to talk to you guys in the baby costume.
Oh, so you did watch. Okay, so I wanted to ask you guys, like,
this is the last one I watched. What was this next one?
The next one's the Ghost Rider. This is when the series gets good. The series gets good on the second half. Like, when they get rid of Harley Quinn, the series gets so much better. That's why I was like, Matt, you gotta watch episode 6.
Oh yeah, Gentleman Ghost thing was the last.
Yeah, Gentleman Ghost. You gotta finish it off, right? But like, here's my thing. Like, when I'm watching episode 5,
who's the ghost? Who's gonna identify him? And so what if they do?
When I'm watching episode 5, I'm like, there's this undertone, right? This woman, maybe of color, I don't understand what's going on with her, but she kidnaps all these white men and get her to, and convince them, brainwash and torture them to give up all of their wealth. And then she goes like on a date, or she wants to go on a date with her lesbian, date or whatever. And she asks Barbara Gordon, like, what is a recommendation? Like, where should I take her? And she's like, oh, you should take her to like XYZ. He's like, no, I can't take her to that place. I want her to think like I'm classy. I have to take her somewhere more fancy than that. And it's like, so that's elitist. Like, you are kidnapping the elites of Gotham, but then you're also being elitist. Like, this makes me think, guys, I have a question here for you. What if the writers aren't stupid? What if they're maliciously complicit?
I'm gonna go with the former.
I know. For a long time we've attacked them for being stupid and dumb and stuff like that, but this is too dumb. This is too dumb for even my brain to truly comprehend. Like, it doesn't make sense. How is she upset and angry at the elite and brainwashing them and kidnapping and brainwashing them to give away all their wealth, and then she's also trying to emulate this elite status? It's not good. It's such bad writing. It makes me think that the writers are purposefully being maliciously compliant, right? So here's my question for you guys. We're just watching this TV show, right? Even if you fucktards watched the entire series and it took you 2.5 hours, right? These guys took 6 months to a year to write this show, okay? And if they're successful writers, they're going to be writing for 20, 30, 40 more years. What if they're purposely taking this DEI initiative so they can get back to writing real characters? Like, imagine if you were a woman, because I believe episode 5 was written.
And get it over with.
Exactly. Like, they purposely tank it. The first time my wife told me to go out and buy groceries, I bought the wrong groceries. Why, bitch? So I wouldn't have to go out and buy more groceries in the future because I'm bad at the job, right? So what if...
do it again.
Exactly. So what if, like, imagine you grew up watching Batman the Animated Series, you loved Harley Quinn, and then you got your fucking dream job writing for Batman. And then in the writer's room, you express so much love for Harley Quinn, you got your dream job, and you got to write for Harley Quinn. And then,
all right, here's a new Harley Quinn.
Exactly. You get Amazon just comes down and is like, hey, here's what we're going to make Harley Quinn look like. She's got the fucking proportions to make Sir Mix-a-Lot cry, okay? And then they stack on all this stuff that she has to be on top of that. Like, they're ruining the character for you that you've loved and you wanted to write for so bad. So maybe just, like, in general, and you do this time after time after time, not just Harley Quinn as one character, but all the characters, right? And all the scripts for the past 5 or 6 years, like, maybe maliciously, I'm coping here. I'm pretty sure I'm coping. I don't think this is really what's happening. But I like to believe that maybe they're being bad on purpose, and they're tanking it on purpose so that we can get back to merit-based Hollywood. What do you guys think?
Well,
am I coping?
AI is coming, so merit-based Hollywood.
We'll see if they get a second season. So, you know, if they get canceled after this season, they won't even get the chance to continue their supposed experiment. So, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see if any more of these this Batman Caped Crusader has a second life beyond, you know, this Amazon. Because you know, HBO Max dropped this; they would not air this, so Amazon had to pick it up.
Right, but they also dropped Batgirl, and Batgirl had reportedly good reviews from audience scores. So I'm wondering if this was too based. Like, look here in episode 5. Batman is trapped by Harley Quinn. He's trapped in this little closet, little glass thing, whatever. And then Barbara Gordon comes, and she's being on this glass door with a bat. She doesn't save Batman. It's not a female saving Batman. In fact, she breaks the thing. She makes it even worse. Hashtag base as fuck. Hello, ladies. And then the bombs go off. His little cell closet falls down, and then 5 seconds later, right, the ladies are falling down, and he grabs and he out of nowhere he just swoops down and he saves Barbara Gordon. Based Batman. That's what I'm talking about. That's what makes me think that we have a hope here, that this isn't just Batman infected by the Pokemon virus initiated by the Scarecrow. Okay, I think, and I stand by this, I think this is a truly beautiful series that made by people who love Batman that are just encapsulated by Hollywood, right? They made it as best as they could.
If you give me a chance, I'll watch the rest.
And by
of this.
tax,
I gotta watch. I think I got like 4
stuff,
episodes, 3 or 4 episodes left. If you let me watch, if you give me a chance, we can talk about next week, because I don't think there's really anything else coming out this week that we can discuss. Is there?
Yeah. We could talk about the final season of The Umbrella Academy if you guys want us to comment down below.
Awful reviews.
I love the Umbrella Academy.
I'll watch the second half of this, and
we all will, right, guys?
We also got all those new D23 trailers.
If you watch the Umbrella Academy as a comedy, it's much better. Like you gotta look at character and comedy, right, and not story. You gotta just because like there's some you're like, oh fuck, like that does not make any sense. Where did that person come from?
All right, guys. Well, you heard it here first. Next week we will cover episodes 6 through 10. That's basically the good half of the series. Matthew,
we should do the Umbrella Academy. That's a show that I actually like.
Well, we'll do the Umbrella Academy the week afterwards, and then we'll do some Adam Webb or something like that.
It's funny. You gotta laugh
it's by the same guy who did
it is good.
Romance, which is
was
already like.
Gerard Depardieu? I'm kidding. You don't like My Chemical Romance?
Hell no.
What do you mean hell no?
How long have you known me where I've ever been like pro emo anything?
But Helena, that's such a good song. Even pro ears.
No.
I don't know how you go, but I know how the outro goes.
I'm not an Umbrella Academy fan, but I haven't seen it. But you know, it has its own fan base, and good for them. If they enjoy it, that's awesome. It's just not my cup of tea.
Well, look, I think if anything, the Umbrella Academy has, you know, Gerard, you know, originally it was a comic book. Gerard Way, originally it was a comic book. Yeah. I think the Netflix show has gotten ahead of the comic series. So if you want to bitch about that, how it doesn't match the source material, look.
Oh, it's the same thing as...
Yeah, Zeitgeist Zealots has a cup of tea for everybody. As long as you like and subscribe, leave a comment down below for the algo.
Yeah.
We would really appreciate it.
This episode. I don't like being negative. I'm just like, I don't want to lie. Like, I just did not
like don't lie.
Show. I was like unentertained. And I was
don't understand how, but
yeah. This could have been...
I had a bad erection the entire time. You had to get like shark repellent.
Was it more than 4 hours to go see a bat doctor?
Oh, well, luckily it was only 10 episodes, so it wasn't 4 hours. Not 4 hours, even with your dumbass ads, Amazon. We'll be back next week.
Well, don't they have like a elongated ad in the beginning, so they're like the rest of your show's ad free?
No.
This is Max.
I want to. Yeah, that's Max. HBO, their big thing, they have it's not a commercial per se.
Like a 2-minute ad at the beginning, and then
but it's like ads for like the other shows. Yeah, it's like a bunch of teasers or whatever. Yeah, but like no, I would say the worst experience of this entire viewing experience, right, for Amazon and Batman, was like literally they'd be like mid-sentence, like Batman would show up out of nowhere and be like, and then boom, Amazon ad would just pop out of nowhere. And it's like, guys, did you not plan these ads out at all? You were just like some fucking drunk ass YouTuber who's just like, we'll insert an ad here and we'll insert an ad here. Like, you gave no thoughts to like acts or continuity or sentence breaks, like at all. The worst part, fuck you, Amazon. Fuck you, capitalism. Late stage capitalism. Regular capitalism is the best. What's up?
Oh, sorry.
Hit that outro.
Major, you want to like plug our social media?
Oh, I'd love to, Forrest. Thanks for asking. You can find us on YouTube as Zeitgeist Zealots. We're also on Instagram as Zeitgeist Zealots. Hit us up on X or TikTok, that awful Chinese platform that which we are shadow banned, mostly X. Hit us up on Z Zealots Podcast. That's with an S. Z Zealots Podcast. Damn, Tip, that looks good. Nom nom nom. If you could nom this episode, we would love it so much. Give us a like and subscribe. Comment down below. It really boosts the algorithm so other people can watch this video. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end, guys. Batman, Caped Crusader Part 2 coming out next week at a YouTube near you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie. Oh, you're muted, Tip.
And the rest all Zeitgeist Zealots. But yeah.